Well, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you happen to be in the world. Nice to see you. Thanks a lot for popping in. I wasn't really going to do a show so much today, but I went into a couple of chats today and, to try and announce myself, to say who I am, whatever, say hello, whatever, and even to ask one guy in particular, one stream that I was in there today, and to ask him whether or not, he would mind whether or not I restreamed him or put him on my show here. And by the way, thanks a lot for popping in there. First in there, Real Samuel, Charles Davis, nice to see you. And YouTube Police, hey, good to see you. Man, you're hammering the internet like, I don't know what, a big giant wave, Every time I turn on, you're live doing something with somebody, or either live on your channel or else a guest in somebody else's channel, that sort of thing. But what I was going to do here was going to have a show where we could do a Streamyard. Whenever you've seen me do a Streamyard? Never. So let me just copy this in here. See if we can get some guests on here. I'm going to have an echo problem that I'm going to have to solve, and a couple of things like that, so we'll have to see what happens. But anyways, here's the StreamYard. Let me just pin it to the top of my stream, which I haven't looked at. By the way, give us a thumbs up. I haven't yet. I haven't even seen the stream. I'm looking at StreamYard on the back end here. But let me turn this volume down just slightly. Get something else on here. And let's see. I have to just go to my channel. I hate this. That's the problem with YouTube, is that you can't set things up ahead of time before you go into the show, because you have to set things up after the show is already in progress, which actually ruins the show, because you're in there doing backyard stuff like posting links and then trying to pin the message. I think I've got it pinned now. Okay, who else is in here? Charles Davis, YouTube Police, Samuel's in there. Hey Samuel, good to see you. You're not affiliated with YouTube other than as a content creator. Yeah, sounds good. We know that. I think I said that to you before, though I wouldn't have chosen or put the word YouTube in there because it's kind of like their trademark. And but they probably don't mind that you do that. But like for long-term, like if you were going to do branding and stuff like that for your channel and make some logos and bling and stuff like that, I don't know that I would do that. I would probably change it to something else first, or else they're going to come back and do something. We'll see what happens. Okay, we have YouTube Police in here. Now, when you come in here, when you talk, you're going to get a big echo, so I'm going to have to go into my back end and change the settings so that we don't have echo. YouTube Police.
Hey, how's it going? Good to see you, Tommy Temper. I'm not...
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't hear.
How are you doing today?
Echo, but I'm doing pretty good. Some of those things you can set up beforehand. Are you new to Streamyard?
Let's see. I don't hear you. Why don't I hear you? Are you talking? Is mic on? Everything good?
Let me check my settings.
I see you, but I don't hear you. Hang on. What about if I do this?
Let me check my settings.
Oh, you're okay. You're good. You're good. I see you. I got you in here now, but I don't hear you. Hang on. What about if I do this? But now.
Let me check my settings.
Oh, you're okay. You're good. You're good. I see you. I got you in here now, but I don't. Okay, but just hang on one second. Let me just change one setting, because like I do a completely different show with like an OBS style software, and then once I get into this crap, it's like a backstepping backwards into something that's not as good. So then I have to end up changing where I feed my mic to, and we're going to try cable A. See if this... Okay, there's me feeding the audio. out onto you on cable A now, and let me see if I can bring you up in my ears. Okay. Okay, there's me feeding the audio out onto hang on you on cable A now, and let me see if I can bring you up in my ears. Jeez. Okay, there's me feeding the audio. Holy jeez, this is like a total. Okay, see if this works. I think I got it. Finally.
Excellent. Well, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second.
Okay.
I'm hitting the repeat. Still hearing the repeat.
You're hearing a repeat?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wonder if that's from me feeding you back over into my system again because of the way I'm listening to me. Let's see.
It gets complicated.
It is. And I know how I can fix it because I can change my settings, but when I do this fix, then like my speaker, okay, speaker is going into there. Maybe if I have the speakers going into my headphones only from the Streamyard, then this should solve the problem right about now. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, let's see if it's working. Seems to be working.
Yeah.
Well,
see what it is the actual settings on StreamYard. You have to, select where the input is and the output is. And I usually have that just set up to the output of my OBS software and, whatever.
Well,
So but I should actually mark these settings down and then do them before I actually advertise live StreamYard.
I personally, just my thought process on it, I think that you do so many things that are complicated and really complex, and then when you try to do something like StreamYard, to me it's real simple. But I'm a simple person. I just try to keep it, but once I try to do some of that complicated stuff, it tends to throw me off, pretty bad. And so I tried to do a stream with Devil Dog where we were just messing with DJ, and we put up, we were running OBS, and we were, selecting one of his videos, and then, putting it over on that, and then highlighting that, and we ended up with a whole bunch of DJs on the screen. But I had so many windows open, I couldn't keep track of what was doing what. How y'all doing? I'm YouTube police, but I'm also Belt Loop 29. Belt Loop 29 is my main channel.
Right on. Sounds good. Hey, Queenie. Looks good. Hey, Queenie, I caught a bit of a replay of your video there earlier. So, yeah, sorry to hear that happen. But nice to see you in the channel. We've got Real Samuel in there. Joan is in there. Have to just acknowledge a few of the people in here. Kit Kat popping in here. Catfish is in here. Good to see you. Yeah, well, that's pretty good. Yeah, well, it is a lot of technology, but I think once you get the hang of it and you know what, and you've done it over and over and over, then you do it. But yeah, I generally don't use the back end, where you're switching screens, and stuff like that with StreamYard. But yeah, like I know how it works, and it seems to work pretty good, and it's a lot of fun. I don't usually do this, but today's the day.
I love watching your stream. You do a lot of stuff that one of these days I'll get to where I can do that. A little self-conscious on the big screen. My friend would call that being bigified. But
you do well, though. You're like, you know what? I once listened to a broadcaster, like on mainstream AM radio, and he was like a sports broadcaster. And like he said once, I don't care what it takes. I'm never going to run to get to the studio to get on the air. I don't care if I'm late or what, but I'm never going to show up on that mic in a big huff and whatever, and you're the epitome of the guy that's relaxed.
Well, I don't see much point in get all upset about anything. Doesn't do any good. The way I look at it, you know, our point in life, we decide whether or not we're going to be in a good mood or a bad mood, and how we react to things. So I just tend to understand that, you know, I of really no significance, and so life is going to happen regardless of what I do. So
Exactly. Yeah, life goes on, and you can wake up, thinking, "Oh, I'm going to have a bad day, or I'm going to call somebody out, or I'm going to, whatever." And people do that. They wake up wanting to call somebody out, so look for somebody to attack. The moment they wake up. But that's not me, or you either. It's more like, hey, relax, take it easy. Let's try and all get along together. There are people in this world that do have a chip in their shoulder and are trying to get somebody, and all we can do is just watch out for them and kind of move on with our lives and not let that affect us.
yes, sir. Just do the best you can with what you got. There are, though, a lot of people out there that are not happy unless they make somebody else unhappy. And hey, Joanne, there's a lot of folks. I enjoy coming into your stream a lot of times because I'm, get to see a whole bunch of folks I don't know, and you're always streaming or tend to be streaming a lot of different channels going on, and it's fun for me.
Yeah, I like it. Hey, we got a super sticker from Elevate with Vern. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Very cool. So
$3 super chat. Wow.
let me ask you a question, Tommy.
Appreciate that. Not necessary, but much appreciated. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to ask you because I know do you use Restream, and for that matter, you stream on Kick, don't you? Or do you?
We are on Kick right now, streaming this broadcast on Kick. I don't know that there's anybody watching. I don't have a browser even open over there. But right now I'm streaming onto Facebook, YouTube, and Kick. If I'm not on Kick, I'm on Twitch. I appreciate that. Elevate with Vern. Elevate with Vern. Type in link. Type in the word link in the chat, and my chat will give you a promotion there. We'll drop a link. That'll drop a link on your channel in there. Just type the word link. Elevate with Vern. Appreciate that super chat. Super sticker. Not necessary, but much appreciated. What? Yeah, go ahead.
You still listed as Tommy Temper on there?
Let me see what I am over there.
I found it. I just signed up for Kick the other day.
Okay, this is my take. Having watched different platforms and things come, things go, whatever, and you see what's popular. Of course, the regular ones, the Instagram, the TikTok, and all the rest of that stuff. Kick is kind of a carbon copy of Twitch. Like, it's identical. They basically are using exactly the same buttons and probably the same back-end program. But the people that were on Twitch that got booted, the people that were into gambling, all the big gamblers over there came over and started. That's who started up Kick, was the gambler. So Trainwrecks is the guy's name. Hey, thanks a lot for the new sub. Appreciate that.
It's me.
Appreciate that for sure. Elevate with Vern. Actually gave us a super sticker before you gave us a sub. Appreciate that.
I didn't see that. I just started following you with my. I just signed up for Kick, and I still don't understand how it works just yet. I'm assuming that you're streaming through OBS to Kick.
Streamyard. No, what I'm doing is okay, this is what you have to do, is you have to go over, if you're using StreamYard trying to get on Kick, because I can stream to 3 different places using StreamYard, and that's how I'm streaming to more than one place. But it didn't work right off the get-go, so you have to just go into the little chat bot at Streamyard customer service and just rag on them, tell them that you weren't able to get on Kick, and they will give you a URL that will work to get you onto Kick, because the thing that's on the back end of Kick, where it has that URL and key to get on there, it doesn't work properly. So for me, it didn't work, but I now have it working.
Didn't work for me either. I tried to stream to Kick, I don't know, yesterday, day before, just because I had just signed up to them, and it just wasn't working. So I figured,
Ms. Steve, Vic BC, good to see you.
But I mean, you have a lot of technological understanding, and a lot of folks don't have that, and so it's
just go to the chatbot on StreamYard, and go to their main site, whatever, customer service, or contact them. You know how you can do this. Just tell them that you can't get on Kick, and they'll supply you with the URL. I could go in mine here. Let me see if I go in settings, profile, stream key. Okay, I'm going to. I'm looking at it. It's in my face, but I can't. Or can I copy it? Hang on. What's that button do? Copy the clipboard. Okay. Okay, I'm posting it. That is the called stream URL, and then the stream key you get from them, because they give you a custom, Kick gives you a custom stream key, but the stream URL is that. So copy that, because that's what StreamYard gave me. I don't know if that's the same one you have, but use that one, because that gets me in there.
All right. Well, it doesn't seem to be working, but I tell you what, if it's okay with you, just so it may be a little easier, and I'm sorry to eat up all your time on this.
Hey, no problem. Hey, big shout out to Queenie giving us a 220 super sticker. Appreciate that. Much love, and everyone hold family close. Love one another. Yes, sirree. Agree with you. 100%.
It's going to be down. I'm looking at it now, trying to figure out well, maybe it's under the destinations, maybe.
Destinations, yes. Yeah, and just make a fresh one for Kick. Thanks a lot there, Queenie. Appreciate that. Where's Brett, by the way? I haven't heard him for a while. Hang on. Might go for us here. It's kind of a slow stream here today, so yeah.
I did go through it, and I mean, this is what I got from Kick to try and.
Hey, you got two of me on here now. Okay, I see you. Okay, yeah, so you've got that up there.
So that it doesn't, I guess I probably ought to go through and hang on, let me move that.
What the dog doing?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Something or other.
Well, I'm sorry. I was just moving that chat or that over so I could see where. I'd open this so you could kind of tell me where to click, because I'm not seeing.
Hang on. This window is so freaking small that I'm looking at here. Hang on. Let me make it bigger. Make it as big as you can. Okay, now I can click that button to make it even bigger. Now I can see everything. Okay. I don't know if I can.
On StreamYard.
Okay, right there. Team settings, members, videos. Where are you? Oh, you don't know. No. It's not in. Oh, yeah, in there. There. Okay. So destinations. Click destinations.
Okay.
Okay, now you have some destinations set up already, right? There's one's called Kick. You have one called Kick already. Yeah. So go back. Okay, right there. Yep. The stream key is yours. You have to get the stream key from Kick, but the RTMP is where you got to paste that in.
I got that from Kick. Creative dashboard, maybe.
Because I found that the one that I got from Kick, copy and paste, did not work. So just don't use it. Use the one that I gave you.
Okay.
And try that and see if
All right,
it
let me
works.
go through and try that. Let me go over here and get back into the. Oh, sorry. Let me go back there so it doesn't interfere with the. Let me go back to that.
Yeah, okay, sounds good. Hopefully you get things fixed up there. Studio audience is getting giddy out there.
All right, and I'll replace that, and hopefully that will work.
Yeah, hopefully. I don't know what the difference was because I never looked really, really closely at the string,
Well,
the URL, to see what was different, if anything. Must have been.
The only thing is, I think if I use your URL, won't
Yeah.
that send me to your chat?
No,
or your,
that URL I got from Streamyard. And they
Okay.
didn't give it to me specifically, but they just said, no, don't use the one that they say to use. Use this one. So that's
Okay.
what I used, and it got me on. And also, that stream key is what's important for your particular channel. So,
Okay.
yeah,
All
you
right.
never want to. Actually, that stream key.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, I can bring it back up. I just
no, don't.
Okay.
Just leave it. In fact, that is probably something that you shouldn't put on screen.
Oh, that's a good
Is what I
point.
was thinking. I don't know enough about it to know what people can do with that. Wow, my face seems jittery there for a second. Let me exit full screen here.
Uh,
See how everyone's doing in the chat there while we were looking there. See what's going on. We got that super chat from Queenie, and we got that super chat from Elevate with Vern. So definitely check out the channels there. Drop some links there, people, if you're in the chat. Just type in the word link, and my bot is pre-programmed to drop your link. So if you got a small channel, need a little promotion or something like that, yeah, go right ahead. That's what we're doing today. Or if anyone wants to come up, actually, the pin to the top of the chat is the Streamyard. So if anyone wants to pop into the Streamyard here, today is Streamyard day. We're not doing anything except Streamyard. So I really, really, really appreciate YouTube Police popping in here and being the first guest. He doesn't have any qualms or fear of popping into anybody's chat. So that's why he's in here. No dislike there at all. Like you being in here.
I have a tendency. I never saw a StreamYard link I didn't like. I have a tendency to like it almost everywhere.
Well, I saw you over in one guy's chat. Remember where the guy was saying, "Yeah, well, everything's okay except I don't like the police." I don't know if you remember that. That was the other night, and I was sitting there because those guys, I see them before. I've watched them like before you even got in there, like days before, and those guys are pretty crude lot, whatever. And I kind of expected as much when you went in there, but actually it turned out pretty good. So that's good.
Well, it's been my experience that a lot of people have preconceptions about, police, preconceptions about different folks, and it's been my experience that a lot of times if you just sit down and talk to them, they'll see that not everybody's the same. So that's one of the reasons why I started focusing on my main channel, which was, in fact, I guess I could go through and drop that. I mean, I don't want to drop that link. In fact,
Drop it. Drop a link to your channels there. But by the way, YouTube Police, do you know Ms. T, Vic BC, that what's on the screen there right now?
I'm not sure if I do. I'm actually subscribed to like over 1,000 channels, or around 1,000, and so.
Well, what this is they're located. It's a couple, Tanya and Rob, and they basically have a channel, and there's the URL to the channel there, Vic BC Live, and they do some giveaways and games and IRL streaming. They live in Victoria, BC, out on the coast there, so do some pretty nice stuff out there. They've been sort of a member of my, what I would say, because I'm like located in Western Canada, we have like a bunch of people out in this area there that kind of stick together and stream, restream, hang out together, whatever. So they're kind of part of the community.
Do they have a YouTube channel? Because I'm seeing.
Yeah, that's That's the channel right there on that
Discord?
on that post right there.
Okay. I'll have to see if I can find it.
Yeah, just click that link that's in the chat there.
Oh, I see it.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah, I know. If you're sitting in Streamyard, it's hard to see that, or hard to click it. That's the other thing that I really, really dislike about Streamyard is that when you're sitting in the Streamyard app, you can't harvest a link and post it or do something. Really irritates me.
it is. By the way, I did just connect with Vic BC Live. Apparently, I was not connected to them. And the way I do it typically is I do go to different lives. I mean, I don't follow sports anymore. I don't watch TV anymore. About the only thing I do these days is YouTube. And so I end up hopping into lives all the time. And so when somebody goes live, I go look at their channel. Sometimes I spend more time in one channel or another. It just,
If you want, are you live right now? Or are you going to go live off of this feed here?
I'd be happy to.
Because if you want to, yeah, we can bring more people in here.
Okay. Well, let me stream to YouTube Police if that's all right.
Yeah, right on. Sounds good. No problem. The more the merrier. Plus, you never know
Right.
what'll happen here, And by the way, I'm in Canada, and
A message from the government of Canada.
don't listen to me.
Well,
Go ahead.
I was just thinking, I could either do the YouTube Police or I could do my main channel, Beltloop 29. If it's probably better if I do from that perspective to my main channel, because there's a lot more subscribers on that and more likely to but I mean, if it's okay, I just stream to one. And that's
Yeah,
it.
sounds good.
What the dog doing?
Just do it.
It's-
There we go. There's Beltloop's link there that he's talking about, Beltloop 29. He's dropped the link in the chat. Check that Nightbot link, and you'll see he's going to open up his channel over there and do a refeed over there. Let's see what happens. The only thing is that your chat is your chat, my chat is my chat. But whatever we click, like I just did right now, I don't know, do you have the ability on your side to click and bring stuff up on the screen off the chat?
You mean, well, are you talking about popping out the chat? You talking about sharing a screen? Are you talking about using something as a for example, using my OBS to bring in another feed?
No, I mean, see how I'm bringing the chat up on the screen here, but because I'm highlighting that chat. But when you bring up your feed or a refeed, not a refeed, but I don't know what you'd call it, but I guess another feed of this same, and then you have a chat, but your chat is kind of left out of this chat unless I bring it up on the screen. You know what I mean?
Right, I know what you mean. Whenever I'm co-streaming something that doesn't allow me to highlight it, and I don't know how, I don't have the technical expertise to go through and, well, I may be able to go through and bring up another feed on OBS and highlight just, narrow it down to just the chat. But to do that, I'd probably, it'd take me a minute to set that up.
Tanya.
Hey,
Looking good. Well, no, well, I'm wondering if you were to use the StreamYard to stream this stream out on YouTube Police, does your chat show up on my StreamYard so that I can highlight it and bring your chat up
Yes,
here?
it does.
Because that's great. That's great if it does. Yeah.
Whenever you're doing the co-streaming, anything that comes in on anybody who's sharing your stream will come up through your StreamYard chat. You won't be able to see, if you're in your chat, you will not be able to see the comments that are made in my chat room or in my chat, but it will give you access to it through, hey Najuma, it will give you access on when you're watching the chat in StreamYard.
Copy that. That's good. That'll work out good. Okay, so we've got Brett has dropped a link here for Ms. T, the channel that you just subbed to. She actually has a second channel that she does cooking videos, cat videos, kind of a little bit of stuff on there. So check out that link there too. We have 21SC. I guess you probably know him. I think South Carolina, looking good.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and pin the to your stream. I'm going ahead and pinning that link to the top of my chat so people can come over and get to meet some of your folks. Hey, Mind of Milton, a new member for me. And
looking good. Who's that? Out and about with Sam I Am. Heard that Tommy Temper is actually a nice guy. Hang on. What do you sense here? How's your spidey senses?
well, I out and about with Sam I Am is good people.
Okay, good. I was sensing a troll there, but
No,
thanks for the comment.
He's not a troll. He's a friend. And Outdoors with Big Matt. Good to see you, brother. There's pretty well right now. It looks like there's about 8 people in my chat, and including a homestead in the wood with a D and redneck tree. Outdoors with Big Matt, Blue Nose 1973, Mind of Milton. We also have Southwest Jeff, CPNI. Who else? Seed the World, Najuma Brown. Let's see, Out and About with Sam I Am. And
Wow.
Those are
There's Blue Nose on the screen there. Southwest Jeff popping in to say hi. Nice to see you, Southwest Jeff. See the world. Yeah, got him in here. I can see that on my screen, so I'll bring him up here in the chat here as they scroll by. That's pretty good. Homestead in the wood, looking good. Ms. Vic, and we've got, wow, it's himself, the YouTube police.
Can't touch this.
Oh, he's our guest in the big room here today. So thanks a lot for joining us, YouTube police.
such a pleasure to meet y'all, and a pleasure to be up on your thing. Hey, big movie fan, 18 plus. And thank you for coming over, Mrs. T, Vic BC. We've got
Looking
a
good.
pretty
Hey, and we got a theme song for you too. He's in the room. Yeah, go ahead. Just kidding.
Hey, Skip, good to see you. I may need to go through and switch over to my. Although I do tend to have a lot more folks come in my Belt Loop 29 channel than my YouTube police channel, but lately I've been working more on my YouTube police, but a lot of wonderful folks.
Najuma Brown, looking good. Yeah, the YouTube police, I've seen you on that channel the most lately because you were pushing the other one quite a bit. Now you got this one. Actually, that is an excellent idea because if you're at all controversial and you could potentially get your channel taken down with a strike or something like that, then it's always good to have a backup channel. So I'm not sure why you've got more than one thing on the go, but it's a good thing to at least have 2 channels. Like one is a backup when one goes down, which mine goes down fairly regularly.
Well, I've actually got 5 channels, and it's actually I think it's a pretty good reason for them. I started off with Belt Loop 29. I've had that account since 2008. Never put up a video until 2020 when the whole Kofifi thing happened, and I started doing some gardening. Well, my first videos were just of the garden, and the purpose for that was so I didn't have to write it down for a journal type thing. And then once the gardening season kind of went by, I got to doing all this other research, and it talks, if you talk to different people, they say to find you a niche or a niche, because it helps you to find people that would like to watch your material. And so
Absolutely.
So I went through and developed.
There's another reason for that too, that if you have a good niche to be in, then as you build your channel up, once you hit like 1,000 subscribers, then you have the potential for people wanting to advertise their product. Like, let's say it's an RV channel or something. You might have an RV guy that's selling widgets or something, flashlights, barbecues or something, that might want to advertise something on your channel. So a niche to be in is a great thing rather than just being general.
But so I started Belt Loop 29, now gardening. It was perennial food forest, but I kind of changed the focus. 2, Belt Loop 29, cute critters. 3, Belt Loop 29 can cook. And I am a police officer, and so later on I started the YouTube Police as a way of just communicating with other police officers, because I don't really discuss law enforcement and law enforcement issues on my channels. But the Belt Loop 20, and it was at one time mental cop, because while I am a police officer, I'm in a mental institution. I work at a mental institution. I'm not a patient at a mental institution. Anyhow, so yeah, I'm on Belt Loop 29 today. At the moment, I was on YouTube Police earlier. Anyhow, so I went through and was trying to develop it outside of my Belt Loop 29 channels. And so, hey, good to see you, Nikki. But anyhow, it kind of fell through as far as keeping it separate. So I just decided to start working on this channel, and we've done pretty well. Mention case wrong.
Yeah. Because you have discovered the golden key to YouTube, which is you can't just, make a channel and then start making videos. It doesn't work that way. You can try and do that, but you're just going to be sitting there making a video that nobody's watching. One guy, 1 subscriber, 10 subscribers, whatever, and that's it. But you have to make an effort at getting your channel to 1,000 subscribers. You have to really, really, really work on that. And then once you have at least 1,000 subscribers, then you can kind of hold off on getting the subscribers, because they'll kind of come naturally, because you've got enough people watching you and enough momentum that when you flip the switch, that people say, hey, hey, he's live. What's going on over there? There's nothing else happening or whatever. Let's go check it out.
It said mental case wrong. No, well, I just mean a mental patient. I'm not a mental patient. I'm a police officer for a mental hospital. And
we know you're.
Thank you, sweetheart. And so initially, the name of my channel was Mental Cop. And
Mental Cop.
Yeah.
In
man. Fact,
okay.
Truthfully, right now, it's easier to find my channel if you type in Mental Cop 4646. For some reason, it keeps reverting back to that. It's very difficult for people to find my channel by putting in YouTube Police. It always brings up.
I wonder if you can change that, that @ sign, and then whatever it is, change it to YouTube Police, car 44 or something like that. You know what I mean?
I've tried. It won't let me. It may do it later. Maybe I was just too little for it to let me do that. I don't know. And when I did search for mental, when I switched the name up to YouTube Police, I did a search for YouTube Police, and I went up to the filters and I put in channel, and it didn't show me anybody with that name. But once I switched it and was committed to it, then I started doing a search for it, and they're everywhere.
Wow.
In fact, I had somebody, a word of caution for anybody and everybody out there: if you're doing any live streaming, make sure that the people show you their face.
Hang on, we need a little entrance for this one. What is this special? Make sure.
Yeah, make sure that who they say they are. And if you're using Streamyard, I would recommend setting your settings to where it will authenticate the guest. and I don't know what that does other than it tends to cut down on on. I think it cuts down. It's booted a lot of folks out of my basement. So
Oh, really? Let me look here. I don't know where to set that. I know I remember seeing something about that probably in the settings. Guests, maybe. Let me see. Guests
um,
can stream to their own destinations. Yes, that's the one that's clicked for, so that you can do that. Guests can see viewer comments, play a sound when guests enter. Guests must authenticate. Yep, I have it turned
yeah,
on already, so that's good. Green room. They have a green room now, but I can't use it unless I upgrade, apparently.
right. But it's there. It's been my experience that a few things, a few precautions that I've taken, I take every now and again. If I'm having a recent issue with bots or trolls or whatever, I do go through and try to make sure that my stream or my stream, whatever that stream um, is set to subscriber only. I'll go through and make sure that that's set to authenticate, and I will go through and what's the third thing? I don't remember. Having a brain fart.
There's a question in the chat there. What do I use as a sound toy? Right here, I have a unit. Check it out. It's called Stream Deck, 2 words, and it's a unit you can see that has a bunch of buttons here. When I press the button, we head out to the YMCA. Hey, let's have fun. So it's called a Stream Deck, and you program it, and it is like it's got like 4 times what is it, 8 buttons on it here, and then you can push a button on it, and then it gives you a complete new bank of keys for something else. For example, this bank is the one that plays my music. That you can see my little icon going there from my music setup. So, anyways, the question was, what do I use for sound? I use that, and I also use this item over here, which is called the Rodecaster Pro, but it's pretty limited because it only has 8 buttons on it. And for example, I've got the Brett noise on here. Brett, you in the room? Okay, Brett's in the channel, so I'll give him a big shout out there. So that's the answer to that question, I think. Go ahead.
Right now in the chat, I think I'm under Beltloop 29. Although I think I'm in my chat at the moment. Hey, Tom. Hey, good to see you, Brett. Brett and Deborah's over there. Odd.
Yeah, drop a link to my channel over in your chat there, Belt Loop.
Okay.
And because there may be some people that have never even heard of who I am, but I know I've been in your channel there a few times. There, maybe a couple of weeks ago.
I actually have a link to your stream that you're doing right now, pinned at the top. And so, if you're in my channel right now and would like to come see Tommy Temper, you won't miss a thing if you just go ahead and click on it and go over to his live stream. He is. He's good people, and he's also has a lot of wonderful folks in his stream. So make sure y'all come on over and check out Tommy Temper's stuff. He's got a lot of
absolutely. And on this end here, check out Belt Loop, and I have pinned to the top of my chat the Streamyard. So we need more people in the Streamyard. This is actually, as it says, live Streamyard panel day, and that's all it is today. Nothing but Streamyard panels. So our first guest is Belt Loop, great guest, very informative, knows all about Streamyard, ins and outs and stuff like that. And we need more guests on here. Let's see what else we can talk about here today.
By the way, I do have something else I can show. I'll share my thing, and then you can see it. Just because this is something that's already been discussed. This is a program that I have that is voice mod, and I don't have it turned on really, but it has different voices you can go to. It does have different sounds that you can make, and I don't use it very regularly. My buddy Devil Dog uses his a lot of the time, but anyhow, I think I paid about $50 for it, something like that. but you have some really interesting voices that you can go through.
Yeah. Voice mod. This is an example of voice mod. This is my, I can sing like Justin Bieber voice called chorus. Ooh.
Yeah, that's fun.
Hey, on that voice mod, I don't know if you know how they have the advanced AI version of the voice. Mine never works properly. Let me see. I'll try it here right now. Like this is the lady's voice. See how it was all crackly? So that AI voice, half the time it doesn't even work. But the banana voice always works well.
Here, how's that sound? More like banana?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just stick with this for the rest of the show.
Well, okay.
Okay.
I go through. I don't use it very often. Initially, the reason why I bought it is because when I started doing YouTube Police, I was trying to keep from, like I said, I wanted to keep my face and Belt Loop 29 separate from YouTube Police, and so I thought I could at least hop up a few times with my avatar up, but I did stupid things like I forget to change my name on Streamyard from Belt Loop 29 to YouTube Police, and so while I had the voice mod and everything, I didn't use it properly. And hey, Greenish Roost, good to see you. And anyhow, I was rather inept. Hey, Molly, I was rather inept with it. So, anyhow.
Copy that. 21SC says, will any of those sounds get you a strike? Okay, for example, this sound, the sound that I played, hang on, let me bring it up again here. It absolutely will give you a strike. Any music that is like music that is copyright and is part of that copyright program will get you a strike. However, if you only play less than 8 seconds like this, so there's my song, and it's going to play out, no hands, and this this song will automatically fade out without me doing anything. So you see, that programmed in at less than 8 seconds will do it. But actually, this is a good one for you, Belt Loop.
Ladies and gentlemen, the story you are about to hear is true. Only the names have been changed to protect the innocent.
That's
NBC brings you
Belt Loop 29. And in the room, hey, it's Brett. Welcome, Brett. How are you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
What's going on, Brett?
Good. Glad to see you popping in here to say hello. It's Brett. He's got a great channel going on there too. Make sure you drop a link there, Brett.
How's it
Good to
going?
see you, Brett.
Excuse me.
Yeah, at a girl.
I caught something you said there, and it made me curious because I had it like, because somebody asked who was on panel, and I said you're the channel name YouTube Police, and then you were on Belt Loop or whatever, and so I went over there, and it was like, oh, it is Belt Loop, and so I was like, oh, sorry, I was mistaken. It's Belt Loop, and then I went to get your channel link, and I saw the YouTube Police and stuff, and then I just heard you talking about that channel.
Right.
And something I caught was where you said that you tried to use a voice changer and tried to hide into, and I'm just curious as to the reason why you did that.
No, I wasn't trying to hide. Well, I guess in a way I was, but the whole purpose of it was I was trying to keep the YouTube Police channel separate. I didn't want it to have the same group of folks in the YouTube Police as I have in Belt Loop 29. I don't typically discuss I am a police officer, and I don't typically discuss law enforcement, on my channel. It's not what I'm about. It just happens to be what I do. It's just a job, and part of, at least initially, my whole thing with my Belt Loop 29 channel was just to show that police officers are more than just a badge. Police officers are actually people. And so when I went to do YouTube Police, then my thought was I didn't want it to have just the same people coming over from one other channel. It almost felt like it was diluting the channel. And I wanted to go through and try to have it stand on its own two legs. But that kind of fell through. Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Yeah, I get what you're saying too, because it is very difficult where you get a certain group of people in. Like I have my own channel, so I've experienced this. I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. Where you get this group of people in, and it's that same group all the time, and it's hard to get like new people in and like different perspectives, and you know, just sometimes a different feel and like different input. And I get it. It's hard to do, and that's actually because I get heat all the time because I'm very political. And when you're talking about politics and societal structures and ideologies and stuff, those can be very heated, difficult conversation.
Sure.
So I get a lot of times where, I can be called abrasive or, whatever people want to think of me. But there is, a bigger picture where I am trying to like bridge communities. Like there's people that have met on my channel from, entirely different communities. Like they should never really cross paths with one another. Like I'm talking from like IP2 people to like crochet people, like where you're going to get a whole gamut and range of whatever religious beliefs and political beliefs and etc. And I think that's to try to draw the more people it is important to do. So I get it. To want fresh perspective.
And let me just say about that, there's a pro and a con to that. I think that you could go through with a lot of the, I hear you, Big Matt. I think that a channel can grow to the point where they are monetized by having a multitude. Because if you look at the people that are in mine, I've got people that are involved in like IT. I've got people from fishing community, outdoors community. I've got people that are in that are radio announcers. I've got people that are in homesteading, gardening, the knife community, a variety. That's one of the reasons why I've got as many people in my Belt Loop 29 channel as I have. In the car community, trivia, a little bit of everything. But I also think that also kind of limits because what you're doing is at that point is it limits YouTube's ability to try and push that out to a broader or a more people. In other words, if, for example, the folks that are in the barbecue community, a lot of barbecue channels will have 100,000, 200,000, a million people that are signed up to them. But I've got a lot of friends that are in the barbecue community. Hey, good to see you, Squirrel. And a lot of times they just spend a lot of their time hanging out with the same people all the time. If they could get one of their videos to hit pretty well, they're kind of already set up to succeed with that. But I think when it comes to growing a channel, I've got a lot of views on that because I tend to be a little obsessive, and I've given it a lot of thought. I think that you can become monetized just by hanging out, going to meet different people in different communities, inviting them back to your community, and they'll have fun and come back. But I also think that if you're building for the long term, a lot of those videos are the longer format videos that tend to be what's called evergreen. And evergreen videos is something that, for those that don't know it, I know a lot of people do, but it's one that tends to get watched over and over again, that people continue to come back.
I've never heard of that before. Sounds good.
Well, I've got a few videos that tend to be watched over and over again. In fact, what I'll do,
I actually, believe it or not, like you guys don't know, but I've got, like a lot of YouTube channels, and I've pretty much been concentrating on this one, and the other ones I've kind of left by the wayside, and what they are, who they are, whatever. In fact, I even use my real name on the other channels, so that's why I don't really want to mix those channels with these. And in fact, I'm going to try and pull my name out or pull those videos with my real name out of those ones and try and go forward, and then maybe you guys might find out about them. But that being said, I do have one video that, like you say, that I published probably 5 years ago that's gotten 250,000 views, like a short video, exactly what you're talking about. What did you call it? A green video?
Evergreen.
Evergreen video. Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Can happen.
What,
There's.
Go ahead.
I understand that, but I would question what people view as a successful channel, because in my mind, I understand you probably don't know anything about me, but in my experiences thus far on YouTube, I have seen money absolutely ruin channels. And if your sole goal is monetization, then I can understand that. I mean, yay capitalism, and people want to, make money for their content, and I get that. But there's also another aspect that I see. I'm not sure if anybody else sees it, but I have talked about it before, where you have a whole other dynamic coming into play, where now there's YouTube streamers and channels that it's being treated like the human zoo. And these people will donate money and use money to influence the streamer, get the streamer to do things, get close to the streamer to exploit them for whatever reason, etc. So myself, I was very openly and explicitly, I used to have a goal of 500 subs back when they had the community tab for that, and then they gave it to everyone, and then I made a new goal of getting 1,000 subs, specifically not to monetize, and show that not everybody is here on YouTube just for monetization, super chats, donations, whatever. It just, to me, that can leave a real ugly taste in a lot of people's mouths when that's, kind of what the channel is too much about. And I'm there, like I could monetize right now. I just have to press the buttons. I have well over my subs and way beyond my watch hours, and no strikes anymore, nothing like that. So I could monetize, but I won't. I refuse to. Just to show that not everybody that has a, in quote, successful channel is necessarily there for monetization.
Oh, I agree.
That's true.
But I would say this.
Not that my channel's successful.
Well, different people have different motivations. There's no broader difference. Even with I have. By the way, this is what I consider an evergreen, video. This is one I did of a family tomato taste test. After 174 days, it had 169 views. Now, it's not a huge video, but, it's at 3,000 over, and that came out, well, I guess if you look at it now, it's been out a year and almost 2 years. But I just showed that to kind of show. And I am monetized. And that video has made me $4.54. The only reason why I point that out, at least to some degree, is if somebody, from my perspective, I have a full-time job. It pays my bills. In fact, I am monetized. The main reason why I became monetized was because I came across my best friend on here, and his name is his name's Eddie, but his channel's name is Devil Dog, and he was not monetized at that time. And so he wanted to be monetized, but I was closer to being monetized than he was. And so he wanted to help me become monetized. And he said that after I became monetized, he would focus on becoming monetized. But he looks at it as a business. He's a disabled veteran, and nobody spends more time trying to help people than he does. He literally is always supporting channels. He's always helping, them with Nightbot. He's always helping them set up this. He's always, doing people's backgrounds, doing their avatars, doing stickers, he does a lot for a lot of people. He works hard. He probably makes $1 or $2 per hour that he spends on helping people, and that's because his channel is now monetized. Now my channel, my main channel, Belt Loop 29, is monetized, and I do have about 40 members. I didn't really care much for the membership to begin with, but I have also made a pledge that, and have followed through with it, that any money that comes into my channel goes right back out into the community, because I see people that need help. So my channel has made about $1,400 since I was monetized. I think that was August the 19th of last year. I've spent in the neighborhood of over $2,500 and tried to help people. So I mean, I would have tried to help people anyhow, but it does allow me to do more than I would have without it. Now I realize that's not every Devil Dog's perspective, is because he is a disabled vet. He looks at this as a business, and he tries to help pay his bills with what, with whatever comes in through his channel. And so I typically recommend people go over to let's see, P.S. Bentley, Joe's Mister. LOL. I don't know what that means. I'm sorry, Molly. Anyhow, I do talk a lot. I get that.
See, and I can appreciate that. Like, that the money that you like, especially your openness and candidness with this topic. So thank you for that. And I can appreciate and respect, you use the money that comes in and you use it to try and do good, and that's good, that you're one of those people. But I just want to kind of, monetization isn't necessarily all rainbows and lollipops. There is times where the money goes to it's more, you're talking about getting paid for views, but there's a larger part where it's about the super chats and the donos and stuff. That's
right.
There's
exactly.
There can be pitfalls and downfalls, and one of the other things is with all the new let's say regulations. For example, you can't swear, so many swear words in the first 10 minutes of your stream, or you will lose monetization for that. That it comes with more censorship, basically. So it's something else to be aware of, which wouldn't work
Brett,
for me.
I find that
to my channel,
I find that the censorship
the first 5 minutes.
The censorship is built into the algorithm with YouTube, because I find that I just throw up any old video and it's going to be restricted, right away, so that they know that my stuff is stuff that they've restricted in the past, so they expect it to be restricted in the future. So it's certain countries can't view it, or maybe certain advertisers can't be put on it, or whatever. But I know from having a YouTube channel many, many years ago, what a tough thing it is, and really you have to have something really, really top notch to make it up the ladder. So I just know that it's not a thing where you're going to make money. So off the get-go, forget about trying to make money. YouTube is not about making money, and if you're making a channel to make money, good luck. That's all I can say. Now, when you start the channel, and if you do get it monetized, great, but again, with what you do, and I do so many videos, it's ridiculous, but 99.9% of them get copyright infringement, which any money that was coming for the actual stream ends up going to the music artist and not me. So the other 0.1% of videos that does get something is usually me riding a bike at the lake or something like that gets about 200 views. You know what I mean? So it's not fair. The process isn't fair. Don't expect to make money. If people donate to you, be happy with the donations that they give you, but use it for a good purpose, to donate to other people, help other people out, and don't just sit there and grift for your trip to DC or something that you need $1,000 or something to get there. Make sure it's a good purpose, whatever it is that you're asking for. If you are asking for money, myself, I tend not to ask anyone for money, but if people do donate, it's hey, not necessary, but much appreciated.
Yeah, I mean, the way I look at it is quite literally, all right, that's just like I don't really discuss politics. I don't discuss religion on my channel. That's not to mention, that's not to say that every now and then I won't say something that touches on on my personal beliefs. But I also believe that being in the, I mean, I'm in the United States of America, and we have, we're supposed to be able to pursue happiness. Now, happiness looks different for everybody. And I'm not one to try and push my beliefs on other people, but I appreciate it when they don't try to push their beliefs off on me either. Hey, Sifting Some Soil, always a pleasure to see you. My beliefs are just that. They're personal to me, and sometimes I may mention something, but it's just to try and explain why I feel the way I do, or why I say a particular thing. But I also accept that some people, that's just their way. And I hope that most of the people out here are smart enough to realize that that's what other people are doing, and whether they agree with it or not. I think that, I get what you're saying. I really do. And I'm right there with you, but I also accept the fact that, when it came time, for that matter, for my, hey, Roadhog, good to see you. When it came time for the monetization, and I didn't really want to be monetized, and it's because I don't want people to sending me money, because of the fact that I have enough pride in myself, and the fact that I work for a living to go through, and I earn, my bills are paid by my job, but and it. It's, I don't know if it's pride or what, but, but other people, I have to understand that other people have their own perspective on things, and they want to show, their happiness with you, or it makes them feel good to give. I guess my point being that sometimes I have to bite my lip, and I don't discuss religion, but in order for me for people to understand what I'm trying to say.
That's because you don't want people to yell at you.
Well, the Bible does say, and I am a Christian, the Bible says it is more blessed to give than to receive. And so if I just said, no, you cannot, do not donate, do not do this, do not do that, it's, potentially, if they know I'm trying to help somebody do something, it's, I'm robbing them of a blessing, whether I want to or not. And personally, I think everybody ought to do their, earn their money.
What the dog doing?
So that's just, and I do question my own motives. I do a lot of self-reflection, and try to ask myself, if I'm being honest with myself, why do I do this? Why do I do that? Maybe I'm just justifying my head things. I don't know.
Reflection is very important.
I think so. But I also know that I've had people that have jumped down my throat that have lived with a silver spoon in their mouth and haven't had to go through what I've gone through in life. I've had,
100% get that.
I was extremely poor as a child, and that's maybe why I don't like people, sending money or whatever. Yes, it's me, Belt Loop. Oh, Devil Dog. I don't see Devil Dog, but that don't mean he ain't here. I have a tendency to. Oh wow, Big Matt.
Yeah, it's
got you in there. Hey, well, that's Belt Loop talking. Yeah. Go ahead,
hard
Brett.
to have the difficult conversations about religion and politics and etc. So I do that on my channel. I'll provide that space to do that on my channel, and usually I try and keep it like pretty good decorum. Like, you don't screw around, or you're just not going to be there. Like, if you want to have the difficult conversations, we can have them, but you act like an ass. Like, I'm going to, to kind of think of it like a bar, right? If you're acting like an idiot, you're going to be escorted out of the bar, and your head bounced off the door, and like, quit being an idiot. And like, some time goes by. Okay, you'll be allowed in. You have another try. If you can act like a responsible adult, no problem. If you still act like an idiot, you're escorted out of the bar again. Like, it's really reasonable and straightforward, I feel. But to have those difficult conversations, yeah, it's hard to kind of keep a lid on it, especially when you're challenging people's, you know, entire beliefs of how the world is structured, for example, or whatever.
Right.
Like,
Well,
it can get heated and spicy, but those conversations, I think, need to happen too. We can't just ignore them.
Yeah, I would rather not talk about the, you know, like religion, but, you know, for example, Chaplin comes in here and drops a link to his channel, which his channel is nothing but religion. So, like, for us, it's like I say, hey, if you're into religion, check out the Chaplin's channel. You know, no problem. I don't have a problem with people. It doesn't matter what they're doing, you know, whether they believe in religion or not. You know, I want to have everyone get together and be more of an inclusive channel. You know, that's the way I like to run things.
Right. And I think that it's, we ran into a situation earlier today. All right. Everybody has the right to run their channel the way that they see fit. But you also run into, I try to be as accepting of anybody and everybody, even if they have different views than I do. I was live streaming earlier today with a buddy of mine, Missouri outlaw Randy. And so I invited some people. I started, hey, good to see you, John Paul. I invited people to come up on the panel, but it was Randy's panel. And I explained that to them from the get-go. One of the people that came up on panel, well, he was more of a late night, a lot of what he does, and he was just pushing it a little bit and, you know, different than what Randy accepted on his panel. Randy likes it to be very non-controversial, you know, and that's fine. That was, you know, if it's his panel, and he did send somebody down, and he blocks people, you know, now Randy gave him a little bit of leeway, and he did talk about a few things that were kind of more like locker room chat, you know, without really cussing, but, you know, and so Randy dropped him off the panel. I don't know if he blocked him or anything, but, you know, the bottom line is, you know, you have to understand that other people, you know, don't necessarily, I have to understand that other people don't necessarily think like me, and what's acceptable on one channel is not necessarily acceptable on another. People have to be free. Hey, Roxanne, Ronan. Ronan. Sorry, I can't see worth anything. I'm old.
Yeah, we got Ronan in there. Let's see who else popped in there.
Oh, hey, Ronan.
The car guy. Who is it there?
I like Ronan.
And there's a lot of wonderful folks out there, and
John Paul.
John Paul's awesome. There's a lot of wonderful folks out there, but, you know, when you go to visit them, you have to play by their rules. And I'm on Tommy Temper's, you know, live stream right now. I'm sharing his live stream, and the people that are coming into my chat, you know, they're it's one thing in my chat to say something, it's something else to come up here and say something. Tommy Temper may decide that he doesn't like, you know, I
just completely
every room is different. All the moderators are different in every room. Hey, go ahead, Brett.
Well, I was just going to say, I just finished living that experience where somebody was sharing my stream. No, I don't mean full screen. Where somebody was sharing my screen, and
there he is.
Or sharing my stream, and they'd sent their people over, and they were up on my panel. And the one guy pulled a firearm on my panel and was like pointing it at the camera. So I booted him, right? Gave him the boot, and I pretty much ended the live stream right there. And now this guy's like incessantly going off on me about how I don't allow free speech on my panel. And it's like, you're doing things that can bring channel strikes and bring my channel, like get a strike against my channel. And you're whining that I'm not going to let you up on panel for some reason, and like making it like I'm the bad guy. What? So I definitely, you got to understand
people are
what
deviants
might fly
out there.
in one channel. You come to somebody else's channel, and I make my rules pretty clear. So like, why you think that that's okay to do that is beyond me. And I agree with you. Like, you know, I have to as well admit to myself and like realize that like not everybody thinks like, you know, I do or you do or whatever, and has a kind of integrity not to do things that bring channel strikes on purpose, and then bitch about them.
Well, the guy was doing that on purpose. YouTube just changed their rules on live videos that you can't have gunplay action, whatever. So the guy knows that, and he's trying to get your channel taken down. That's despicable,
Yep, 100.
My problem is with doxing. My name is Tommy Temper on here. I prefer that people don't use my real name. But there are people out there that just try and stick it to you by you go into another chat somewhere and they call you by your first real name. You know what I mean? Just to give you a jab, stuff like that. I hate that people do that. But I understand that it's in internet and it's kind of kids playing in the schoolyard type stuff.
Yeah,
but,
and Tommy, you have a wrench in my channel, so if you come in there and Carl starts doing that to you, just whack him. You totally my permission to do whatever.
Well, Carl especially is bad. Actually, Carl and Wes, those are two of the. And actually, I hit back at Wes there the other day because he was in another chat and he was acting up and he was getting turfed out of the chat. And I go, yeah, Wes is a bad guy. And then the next time I see Wes, he's saying, "Don't." Or keep my name out of your mouth, Wes said to me the last thing. So I had to have the last laugh on that one.
Oh, geez, yeah. I mean, for how much that got, it's ridiculous. Absolutely.
Yeah. But it's fun. But don't let it get to your head because these guys are trying to get and so-called be in your mind, in your head is what they're trying to do. They're trying to get in your head so that you're thinking about them all the time, and you can't let these guys consume you. It's not worth it.
If anything, it's the other way around. I'm in their heads.
Exactly. Yeah, you must be. You have to be. They're thinking about you all the time.
Oh, I live in a lot of people's heads. It seems like so many channels talking about me, doing live streams about me, panels about me, making videos about me. It's like, what is even do something better with your time? Oh, it's crazy.
Well, the worst of it was earlier today. I went in this guy's channel called Delete Laws. Okay, I don't know if you've ever heard of him. Delete, LAWZ, I think. Really big streamer, pretty big. He's been around for a while, and I just simply asked him if I could restream him on my channel one time, And somebody else went in there that was sat in my channel the other day and says, "Tommy, don't let Tommy restream you. He's a bad guy and don't trust him." Right off the bat, he says that right in there. And this guy's got whatever, maybe 100,000 subs or something. And I'm thinking, oh man, and he's saying, "Okay, I'll check your channel out and see whether or not I'll let you restream me or whatever." But crap like that happens where people stab you in the back and you don't even expect it.
Hey, I've had people block me as soon as I said hello. When I came in with the YouTube police, on the channel, people get something in their head. By the way, I was going to mention for the folks over in my chat, and there's I guess 16 people over there right now. If y'all would, at the top of the chat, there's a link over here to Tommy Temper's live stream. Come on over and meet some folks. Get to know them. There's a lot of good people in here. You may find your best.
YouTube police, same thing. Drop a link for your channel over in my channel so that regardless of what channel that you're watching in, that you make sure that you're subbed up to each of the people there. And anyone else that you see a link dropped in there, check them out. Check out their channels. You may not like them right away or something. Or the only thing I don't like is with the link dropping and that stuff is that if people don't have any content, like no videos, no subs, no nothing, and you don't really have a channel, and your channel is just so that you can play around in the chat, well, probably you don't need to drop a link,
That's true. I did drop the link for both my Belt Loop 29 and the YouTube police, just so people could...
right on.
Those are the two main channels I'm focusing on right now. But please do feel free to come on over. After all, I think the benefit of this co-streaming is that you can mix and mingle a little bit. Hey, good to see you, Jonesy. Radio Jonesy Tasmania is a good friend.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know. I don't know if he knows of my channel, but I'm sub to him, and I do watch those guys, and I've seen him on your stream there, too. Real professional.
He is. He's awesome. Jonesy, if you don't, if you're in my stream right now, and I assume that's where you may have already come over to, but at the top of my stream, there's a link that takes you over here to this link.
Yeah, Jonesy, you're getting your guys are coming over there. There's Jonesy in there and Busby Adventures. I'm coming over from your channel there now.
Hey, Natasha.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah. I'd like to get to know some of the people that hang out in your chat there a little bit better, that I kind of know. You know what? I know more about Jonesy than he probably knows about me, because I've been sub to him for a while and been watching what he's been up to. Interesting stuff.
There's a lot of wonderful people in my community, and we are always trying to build the community, trying to get to know other folks, and invite them over and go visit them over at their place too.
The difference between, let's say, 5 years ago, or the advent of Streamyard, and before the only way that you could collab with other creators was to give them a shout out, which I did. I'd say, hey, shout out, and I put in my title of my stream another streamer's name or something, and give a shout out to that stream or something, and then he'd do the same thing over in his stream but no one was live. It was all, you record it and then upload it, but with the advent of StreamYard here, to be able to in real time collab is just tremendous. Absolutely incredible.
I agree, Roadhog. Tommy's good people, and it just becomes a question of getting to know other folks. Hey, Drunken Chef Barbecue, good to see you, brother. He's in the barbecue community, and he's got his own rub, and he sells rubs, and they're really good. Fact is, we've got 3 or 4 of them in there right now. Mark Kratz, always a pleasure, brother. Mark Kratz, probably the most overqualified person I know on YouTube. He's, of course, that's from my perspective. He's, military background, police background, was a motorcycle cop, a teacher, a member of SWAT, and a heck of a shot. I've seen him shoot, Q-tips from, a little ways off. He's got a lot of skill. But that's just, my perspective. Some people don't care for police officers or military for that matter. And hey, I can't talk, can't change everybody's mind. But
yeah, but you have to think that we wouldn't have much of a society if it wasn't for the people that hold up, laws and things like that. And every country has a political system, and the political system, the laws have to be upheld. So, but you might not like the things that individual people do that are maybe, not correct, not right. That's my take.
Well, the fact is, if you go back and look, there were some very influential thinkers that wrote some books like Kant, Hobbes, and Locke that dealt with the nature of society and social contracts. And I think that one of the fellows that you mentioned earlier about delete laws, I think there are people that are anarchists that think we'd be better off without any laws, but there are people that would take advantage. As a society, we tend to, I do believe in the social contract theory that we do give up certain rights in order to participate in society. I'm sorry, I'm droning on. Hey, Mike from Foxy's Friends.
Yeah, I think that law and the people that are in law are very important. Everyone has had their mishap or things that happen to them where they probably think they were taken advantage of or whatever. And, it's all arbitrary, anything that happens. But at the end of the day, no, that's why I don't mind having you around or being part of your network, that sort of thing. I know where you're coming from. And like you said, you entered the profession later in life, and you're not like a guy boots on the ground on the street trying to hassle people. You've got a particular thing working in that mental hospital, which I have done work in mental hospitals before on a business type capacity, and had to be amongst the people, and it's it's a trying experience. There's people yelling, screaming, out of control, all kind of stuff, straight jackets. It's not an easy job. Absolutely.
What's up, AJ? I don't know whose live she's in, but it's always good to see her. American Justice of Texas. She's a real likable person. Good people.
Got the budget preppers in there. Gail Southern Living. Sorry that we're not acknowledging all the people in the chat there. Just so many people that I just have never seen before in my life. They're all coming over from your chat or in your chat there. Good group of people.
Oh, they're wonderful. They really are. And they, all of them like to talk with folks and get to know them, support, other channels. And, in turn, a lot of people like to come over to their chats and support them. But it all starts with getting to meet folks. And that's why streams like this one right here, I think, are so important. So you can get to know other folks. It's so hard for a lot of folks to get to meet other people, because you tend to be in a little bubble. And YouTube typically, they're pushing out those large channels a lot of time. I say pushing out, those just be the ones that when I do a search, they tend to be more visible, I guess. And so streams like this allow smaller channels to get to meet other smaller channels.
I agree with that. And
thanks for the sub there, Radio Jonesy, in real time there. You go ahead, Brett.
Sorry there. I was just going to say, Mrs. T was talking about it earlier with the new monetization things that are coming in or are in or whatever. And I hear, because I've been spending a fair amount of time in the crafting and crochet community, however the heck that worked out. Well, from networking essentially and keeping an eye on people essentially and da-da-da. But in all the talk and conversation, they're talking about how to reach monetization goals. And there's a lot of talk and conversation about, the shorts and, your hashtags so that you show up in searches, and a lot of that kind of talk, what, the giveaways or whatever they do to try and grow their channel. But I'm not hearing a lot of people say the word networking. And networking is probably your quickest route towards monetization if that's your goal. I mean, I certainly know that none of my most of my subs have all came from just networking and my name being participating and my name being out and getting endorsements from other channels, and that it's all come from that. I haven't had a video or anything go viral and get subscribers from anything like that. It's all been from just talking, participating, going to different communities in YouTube. Your networking is hugely important. And yes, I agree. Streams like this will definitely
very important.
I could read
this is network right here.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to say I could stream this to my audience right now and have a bunch of people come in who would now come to Tommy's and then find you, and you start sharing those viewers, etc. Well, I'm not staying on too much longer.
Well,
I was thinking about it earlier, but
yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and I just wanted to do a little stream here. Check it out. It's good. I like it. But you know what? There are a lot of different ways of doing it. But you know what? You want to have a diverse audience out there. And the way that I have built up somewhat of a diverse audience is by doing streams that have something specific in the title that people will search for and come to your stream via the. Now this is a crappy title, Streamyard panel. That's the crappiest title ever, and I didn't really make this to attract people. But for example, the one that I did yesterday, where there was a tornado, right, and the guy was right on scene with the tornado. I threw up a stream for 45 minutes. That stream got 900 views. There were a whole bunch of people and brand new people that came in and subbed to me when I did that stream. So have titles that attract people into your stream when you go live. Extremely important. And that's how I have gotten a lot of subs. And like this, networking with people in other people's chats. saying hi and stuff.
You're actually incorrect about something, Tommy. People do search out live panels. People do search that out. People have found my channel before simply because I was live having a panel, and I'd like put that in or whatever in the description. So people do search that out.
Well, true.
Well,
Yeah. Well, mine says Streamyard. You see that, Streamyard? And one day I was doing a live, and I never had it on my title, but I had it down in my description because Streamyard threw that in there because they didn't turn off that feature. I think I was using a sample of it or something. And yeah, some guy came into my stream, and he goes, "Oh, Streamyard. Yeah, I searched for Streamyard, and I came in there." So yeah, you're right. The title is important. You put something in your title, and they're going to come in. Absolutely.
Well, I think it's kind of a combination of things. The fact is, I put out 2 videos that were almost identical, a little bit different, but the names, I put one out, and they were shorts. Granted, one of them was 58 seconds, one's 57. A short, both of them were talking about the new standards of monetization, for fan funding. One of them was on my big channel, which has over 2,300 subscribers. One of them is on one that I had 450 subscribers. The one on my channel that just has 400, a little over 450 subscribers was named What I Know. And the other one was...
I watched it.
And the other one on the other channel, my larger channel, was, YouTube monetization policies are changing or something like this, is a lot more a lot more clear about what it was. Hardly, I think I got less than 100 views on that, but I got over 1,000 views on the one that was, What I Know.
Yeah, I can talk on that because I've worked with shorts. If you take a look at my channel, and the other thing that's important is that you start up a community page and work on that community page, and you can use that to promote other people's channels on your community page, whatever. If you see somebody that you like, also your very front page. Look carefully at my homepage, very, very carefully, because you will see that I've spent a lot of time setting up that home page. And now what a lot of people do that is wrong is they don't even have a live portion at the very top of their homepage to highlight the fact that they might have a live. So in other words, you go to their homepage, you don't even see anything on their homepage that they're live. You have to go over and click the live button, then you can see something that's live, something like that. The other thing is if you've subbed to a lot of channels, you can also highlight a lot of the channels that you're subbed to on your homepage. Check. If you scroll down on my homepage, you'll see a list of just tons and tons and tons of different channels that I've subbed to, which is a good way of you to show your audience who it is that you're subbed to and what your audience is, or rather, who you're looking at. And a lot of people don't even bother to do any, sprucing up of their homepage, which I think makes the whole channel just a better experience, and that's why people come to my channel. They go, "Oh, look, he's got some videos up, and he's doing some stuff, whatever, and it looks worthwhile, not just a black header or something,
Well, that actually kind of goes back to something I'm always saying, is that people, I spent 30 years in sales before I became a police officer. And one of the things I can tell you for a fact is people don't care how much you know till they know how much you care. In other words, they want to know that you're trying to help them before they really care about you or anything that you're doing, typically. And so people always have their best interests at heart. So if you have their best interests at heart, then, that I think that helps. For example, it's kind of hard to find links sometimes. I always recommend certain channels. One of the channels I do typically recommend, I saw a minute ago where it was highlighted that James Gipe, was live. His channel is one of them I typically recommend because he's always dropping links.
Sean Tuber.
Yeah. And
Yeah. Good thing you mentioned that. Okay. Some people run a channel, and I've seen it, especially the bigger channels. The bigger you are, the more you'll see this, where they go, "Quit talking about somebody else's channel on my chat." Or, there's no way that you're ever going to drop a link in their chat. But I believe that that's the wrong way to think. I think that you have to use your chat as an open forum for people to share where they are, what they're looking at, all kind of content and stuff. And don't worry if it takes somebody away from your channel for an instant. If you're doing anything good, they'll be back, and having that happen in your chat, I think, is a great thing. And that's what is a big thing that has made this channel work, is having that bot. And especially, like, I know how you guys do it. You guys go, okay, yeah, you're there. You either give the guy a link so that he can harvest a channel, right? You give him I'm sorry, not a link, but a wrench. Give him a wrench to harvest a channel. But I think that's the wrong way to do it. The way to do it is to allow people with the bot to drop their link, and they don't really need a wrench unless they're dropping a constant link dropper in the chat. And that's pretty much who the people are that have wrenches in my chat, are the people that constantly drop links and stuff like that. Otherwise, it's not really necessary to have a wrench.
Well,
but that's something to think
I've
about.
actually gone through. I've actually gone through and cut back a lot on the wrenches in my channel. I don't know if you can see it at the moment, but there are a few. But I've cut back a whole lot on that for one reason or another. But we do drop links, and I do have Nightbot set up with a bunch of different commands. By the way, I did want to mention that Caucasian Sasquatch has come in. He's, good people. Because there are a few new faces in here, I did want to mention that I do have the link for Tommy Temper's chat, this very same live stream, but just over on his channel. And I wanted to encourage folks to click on the link. And hey, Cutthroat, good to see you. If you get a chance, click on that link up top and come over and visit Tommy and get to know him and the folks over here. There's a lot of good channels in his live stream, and just come on up. And you're scheduling a show for Brooklyn. Audit this for tomorrow. Okay, I'll try to keep
Cutthroat.
Yeah, Cutthroat Entertainment.
Right on. I've never heard of them before. Looking good. Okay, can you vouch for Busby Adventures?
Yes, definitely. Busby's awesome.
Okay, added to the stream, Busby Adventures. Hey, welcome.
I just started sharing to my audience, so this is actually, I'm streaming this to both of my channels now as well.
That's awesome.
Copy that. And we got Luke Baker added into the stream here.
Yo.
That's Busby Adventures and Luke Baker. Let me just see. There we go. So you can see some names on here.
Good to see you, Luke.
Yeah, good to see you, man.
Yeah, nice to meet you. It's the first time I've spoken to you. And Luke Baker.
Yeah, how are you? How you doing?
Great. Good to see you. Luke Baker, musician. Check out the music on his channel.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that.
Thanks for dropping your links in there. And I watch you. You're really belting the chords out there, or whatever you call them, the licks.